Okay, good morning. Last time we seen about the 3-pin IC regulator like 7805, which is a fixed output voltage variable. Then last time we saw about the there is another variable regulator IC, that is LM317, which is a variable output regulator IC. Variable output means we can vary the output voltage by changing this resistance R2. Okay, so that's why we call this IC as a variable output voltage regulator. So its output voltage depends on the value of R2 and R1. So here the output voltage equation is output voltage V naught equal to 1.25 into bracket 1 plus R2 upon R1. So this is the output voltage equation. Okay, so in the LM317, one pin is called as variable because it is connected to variable resistor R2. So 3 number pin is input voltage. The output coming from the rectifier is connected here, so that we get a definite output voltage that is controlled by a resistor R2. So 2 number pin is output voltage. So like that, the pin configuration of LM317 is like also like this. 1 number is variable adjust, 2 number is output voltage, 3 number is input voltage. So like this same. Okay. So this is a 3-pin IC regulator. Today we are going to study about the another regulator which is called as SMPS. So here in 3-pin IC regulator or in transistorized voltage regulator, the transistor used at this position should be continuously in on position. Okay, so it always in the on position, so that the power is wasted at the transistor. So we require a power transistor. So the power of this transistor is calculated by using this formula. So we last in lecture we seen about this. So to avoid this power loss in a transistor, we design another technique that is known as SMPS. Okay, so SMPS means switch mode power supply. So in this switch mode power supply, so in this switch mode power supply, the transistor used at this position, it is called as series pass transistor. Okay, so this series pass transistor used in this position is operated in a switching mode. Okay, so this is operated in a switching mode. So when this transistor is operated in switching mode, so its base voltage is continuously changes. Okay, its base voltage continuously changes. Okay. So its base voltage continuously changes. So this is a series pass transistor. It is also used in SMPS. So here we are using inductor filter. Okay, so we are using inductor filter, and again there is a capacitor filter. Okay, so this is output voltage. So output voltage is used as the feedback, and which is connected to pulse generator. So this is pulse generator. So output of this pulse generator is drives the base of this series pass transistor. Okay, so this pulse generator generates the square wave, and that drives the transistor. So here in SMPS principle, we use, this is the main circuit, and V in unregulated voltage voltage is connected at this collector of transistor. What is series pass transistor? So these are the two filters. This is the inductor filter, we very well know about that, and this is the capacitor filter. Also we studied about this filter. Okay. So there is another diode, another component diode is connected at this position, which is some called as circulating diode, as freewheeling diode, which is connected in reverse bias. Okay, anode is connected to ground. So this diode is used for protection purpose. So let us see how it works. So output voltage is controlled by the current through the transistor IC. Okay, if you want more output voltage, then pass a maximum current at the output. If you want low output voltage, then pass low collector current towards the output. Okay, so if because of some changes output voltage increases, you have to decrease the collector current to control. If because of some changes output voltage decreases, you have to pass a more current to control the output voltage at a constant level. Okay, so this is the controlling action. So here at this position, when pulse output is high, then this transistor will turn on. Okay, so at this position the transistor will turn on, and when this output of this pulse generator is low, then this transistor is turns off. So just we controlling the on time, we can control the output voltage. So if you want more output voltage, you keep this on time more. Okay, if you want low output voltage, then you reduce on time, so that we get the low output. So this is nothing but a controlling action. So this pulse generator takes a feedback from the output voltage. Okay, so it is controlled by a controlling duty cycle of the pulse generator. Duty cycle means you very well know. So this is the square wave, this is the on time, this is the off time, we named it off time, and this is total time T. Then duty cycle D equal to, we can calculate T on divided by T on plus T off, that is T on divided by T total. Okay, so this is T2. Percentage duty cycle is, so T on divided by T total into 100. So this is a percentage duty cycle. So by controlling this duty cycle, we can control the output voltage. Okay, suppose consider case 1. Output voltage is decreased because of some reason. Okay, the reason may be RL is decreased or input voltage may decrease. So because of that, output voltage decreases, and this is controlled by controlling a duty cycle. Okay, so as output voltage decreases, you have to increase a duty cycle. Okay, so that output voltage, okay, as we increase the duty cycles means we have to increase the T on time. As T on time increases, more collector current flows to the output, and whatever the decreased voltage is again increases. So this, by increasing duty cycle, so we just write here, so T on time increases. Okay, so as T on time increases, so output voltage get increased. So whatever the decreased output voltage is stabilized with this action. As output voltage decreases, so this feedback voltage decreases, duty cycle increases. As duty cycle increases, transistor on condition increases. So for collector current flows for more time, and again this output voltage increase to output to desired voltage level. So output voltage equal to is nothing but duty cycle into V in. Okay, so as if output voltage decreases, you have to increase the duty cycle so that this output voltage get increased to its the voltage level, desired voltage level. Okay, so in case 2, if output voltage increases, you have to decrease the duty cycle so that transistor on condition decreases. On condition decreases means the time for on decreases. Okay, so it is time for on increases here time for on decreases. Okay, then as time for on time decreases, then output voltage get decreased with this equation. Okay, so this is the controlling action with the transistor. Okay, so here duty cycle, we get a duty cycle waveform like this. Okay, so we increased T on time for this condition. Okay, so that's why we increase a duty cycle. So here in this 2 case, the output of this pulse generator is becomes like this. Okay, so it means we are going to decrease on time so that we get a less output current and this output voltage is decreased. Okay, so this is the waveform generated at case 2. When output voltage is increases, you have to decrease the duty cycle by generating such a waveform, and in this case 1, as output voltage decreases, you have to increase the duty cycle so that according to this equation, this decreased output voltage is increases to its original level. So we have to control the output voltage by controlling the duty cycle. Okay, so we get emitter voltage at this position is like this. Okay, this is not a pure DC. Okay, so we want to avoid the AC part. It contains AC as well as DC. So this inductor filter is used, which blocks the variable AC and passes the DC. Okay, so it passes DC. So whatever the remained AC part is grounded by this capacitor. So AC is grounded. AC is grounded, and whatever remained pure DC is connected to the output for load. So here we get pure DC. Okay, so what is the use of this diode now? The last one, use of this diode. So this diode is used for protection purpose. Okay, as the emitter voltage changes, the inductor generates a back EMF across itself. Why back EMF? Because there is continuous change and inductor opposes the change by inducing back EMF in itself. So whatever this, if this change is more, so this continuously changes, that means voltage developed at the inductor, that is back EMF, is more, and this voltage developed across the inductor may damage the transistor. Okay, so whatever the voltage developed may damage the transistor. ज्या अक्रॉस जे voltage develop होईल त्याच्यामुळे हा ट्रान्झिस्टर काय होऊ शकतो, खराब होऊ शकतो. So whatever the voltage develop, we need to circulate to reduce this effect. Okay, so this voltage is circulated through this diode. Okay, so this, as this diode is connected in reverse bias, when this voltage is here low, then it gets forward biased and this voltage is circulated. Whatever this voltage developed across this inductor circulates through the load, ground and then diode. So this voltage is circulates, okay, so that this diode avoid the damage in a transistor, okay, it protects the transistor. So whatever the, in short we can say that the developed back EMF is circulated by this diode, okay. So this diode is used for protection purpose, okay. So this is known as switch mode power supply. So this is the principle of the power supply. It is very difficult to design this pulse generator. So this pulse generator is nothing but it converts voltage to frequency. It senses the voltage and converts it into the different frequency, okay. So it is very difficult to design this circuit. So we are going to just see the principle of this SMPS, okay. So this continuously in switching mode, so that's why I name switch mode power supply, okay. So this is the principle of the switch mode power supply, okay. So up to this we have finished the first chapter of the paper first. So up to this, and there is some little bit some problems are remaining related with the rectifier, okay. Let us see some problems, okay. So sometimes such type of problems may asked in a HSC board exam, okay. So just you have to solve some of the problems. So these are the very simple problems. If you know the formulas, then you can solve this, okay. Consider first example. So for half your rectifier is connected to 230 volt AC 50 Hz frequency to a transformer of 10:1 turns ratio, then find VDC, PIV and ripple frequency. So what is given? So there is a half your rectifier, okay, which uses a transformer of 10:1 ratio and 230 volt AC is applied with a 50 Hz frequency to the primary of transformer, okay. 10:1 ratio means what? If there is 10 turns of primary, then proportionally there is only 1 turn of secondary, okay. So like that, if there are 100 turns, there are 10 turns at the secondary. It is called as 10:1 ratio, okay. So 10:1 ratio, we know the equation for this transformer, which is called as turns ratio. Number of turns at primary divided by number of turns at secondary equal to number of voltage applied to the primary divided by voltage applied to the secondary. So therefore 10:1 equal to 230 volt divided by Vs is the secondary voltage. So we can calculate it by using, we get 23 volt, which is the RMS voltage, root mean square voltage, okay. It is not a VP voltage, peak to peak voltage. So we have to convert this 23 volt RMS into peak voltage. So formula is Vrms equal to Vp into 0.707. So you have to memorize this formula, okay. You have to remember this formula. So Vrms equal to Vp equal to 0.707. So therefore Vp equal to Vrms equal to divided by 0.707, we get Vp voltage, that is 32.5 volt. And then VDC equal to Vp by pi. Why Vp by pi? Because in a half wave rectifier we use only half cycle. So therefore it is Vp by pi. So if you calculate that VDC, you will get 10.35 volt. Peak inverse voltage is equal to Vp, we get 10.35. Vp is 10. Vp is here. Where? What is it? Sorry. Vp is PIV equal to Vp. So Vp is equal to 32.5 volt. So there is small mistake. Okay. So PIV equal to Vp, that is 32.5 volt. Ripple frequency is equal to Fin, that is equal to 50 Hertz. So there is another problem for a 12 volt transformer connected with a 220 volt 60 hertz. Then calculate VDC, PIV, ripple frequency. So we are using 12012, means it is a full wave rectifier. Okay, it is a center tap full wave rectifier. So like this we can calculate the VP voltage. So 12012 in 0 to 12 volt is used for the output voltage. Okay, what is the drawback of center tap transformer? We use only half secondary. So we can calculate VRMS equal to 12 volts. So VRM is equal to VP into 0.707. We can calculate the VP by solving this. We get 16.9 volt. So VDC equal to 2 VP. Why 2 VP? Because in a full wave rectifier both the half cycles are used. 2 VP by 5. So here we get 10.76 volt. Ripple frequency is twice of F in. Okay, we get 2 into 60 Hz. Therefore we get ripple frequency 120 Hz. Peak inverse voltage equal to 2 VP, because it is center tap transformer. This is one of the drawback of center tap full wave rectifier. PIV equal to 2 VP, but it is 2 into 16.9 volt. So VP is, so here 16.9 volt VP into 2, we get 33.8 volt. There is another example. For bridge rectifier, if transformer with the turns ratio 20 to 1 is connected with the 220 volt 50 Hz. Okay, then calculate VDC, PIV and ripple frequency for bridge rectifier. So you should know these formulas, you can easily solve. Then by using, so here a turns ratio is given. So NP by N is equal to VP by VS. We can solve this. We get VS equal to secondary VS for secondary voltage equal to 11.1. So then VP equal to VRMS by 0.707 707, we get 11.707, we get 15.5. Then VDC equal to VP by 5, it is same as this one. So we get 9.86. PIV equal to here only VP. Here is 2 VP, it is a disadvantage, here only VP. So PIV equal to VP, it is 15.5 volt. Then ripple frequency is twice of F in, we get 100 Hz. So such type of problems may asked in HSC board. Okay, so you have to keep in mind that. So this is nothing but 11th part, but in 11th we don't study about these problems. So let us see these problems. Okay, so up to this we have finished chapter first. Sorry, that is the chapter second. DC power supply is chapter second from paper first. Okay, and also already we have finished chapter first from paper 2. So up to this we have finished 2 chapters. Chapter first, that is a number system from paper 2. Chapter 2, that is DC power supply from paper first. Okay, so we are going to stop here. So you are going to solve these questions. Okay, if you get the textbook, then solve from the textbook.